We're going to take a look at a giant 4x4 off-road adventure rig today, RC drivers. It's the new Rlaarlo JK-07, and it's styled after a Jeep Gladiator. However, they took it up a whole nother level by making this an overland adventure rig. And the scale detail on this is going to blow you away. Not to mention what's under the hood, like the brushless system, portal axles, 2-speed transmission, and locking differentials. This rig is ready to go anywhere, and we're going to put it through the test. But first, let's check out what's inside this box. There it is, RC drivers, the JK07. This has to be one of the most accessorized RC models I've ever pulled out of a box. This thing is incredible. All the lights on the front, the overland accessories, and I might be a little biased through this video because I have a real Jeep Gladiator in the same crystal granite color, so I absolutely love the way this thing looks. And let's start off by talking about all the details on here. At the front bumper, it's the Jeep style front bumper. They have the end caps off, so it's got the shorty look to it. Definitely going to give you your wheel clearance. I like that they have the LED lights in the bumper, and then the extra lights, the pod lights up top, the red shackles. They don't have the red hooks, but they got the red shackles here. Even looks like there's space for a winch to go in, and then a molded front grille, black, which is absolutely awesome, just like on my Willys. But anyway, this is a 9-slot grille, so that's how they got away from the 7-slot trademark grille. But they have the proper LED style lights with the rectangle in the center, even the proper turn signals on the fenders. They're the high fender of the Rubicon. It's got the Rubicon hood, and you know what, guys? These windshield wipers work. They're controlled by a servo. That's killer. And the steering wheel turns too. I'm going to show you a little bit of the interior in a minute. They've got the snorkel on there, and then the pod lights set up across the roof. That is absolutely awesome. The details don't stop there though. They even have LED lights in the mirrors, and they're folding mirrors. The side steps, those look like aftermarket. They got the rocker guards on it, and door handles, those are molded pieces. Guys, this thing looks cool. I like the roof rack on the top, and then they have the canopy set up and the tent set up here. So this pops open. There's these, actually there's supposed to be 2 little metal clips that pop off. One of mine's missing, and I went through the box. It's just not there. So I'm probably gonna throw like an O-ring on this just to pull it down. But anyway, it's hinged on top. This cover pops out, and you could roll out the canopy. It's got legs. That's so cool. And then check this out. It's got a rooftop tent. This lid pops up. You unfold the tent. It's got metal rods on the inside to just prop everything up. I mean, these guys thought of everything. It's decaled like this out of the box. You don't have to do anything. Then you got your bed rack. You got your recovery ramps on the side. Then look at this, the multi panel out back with a shovel on it, the appropriate taillights. They could have went ahead here and painted the outer edges black, but at least they are a transparent red, and you got the clear lenses for the reverse lights. Appropriate rear bumper, you got the bed guards on this. I mean, everything you would expect out of a fully loaded Jeep is on this. And then, as I mentioned, they've got the full interior there. So you've got a dashboard, steering wheel, center console. The seats are two-tone. Love the pretty much fully loaded interior. Maybe you just go ahead and add a driver figure, although it doesn't look like there's much room for the person's legs in there. All right, so to get the body off now, this is a little bit easier than, oh, maybe I should say a little bit better than the previous version. So the previous version on the MK07 had body clips. These have this little spin clip set up. You just pull it over to the side. There we go. I had it undone. So anyway, yeah, just these spin clips. The body hinges up, and you can see all the wiring in there for all of the LED lights. Whoa, a little weight on the back of that thing, but look at all of the wires in there. Everything is nicely done, and they've got the servos up front for that wiper cowl and the steering. Really done well. Notched out in the back here for the shock tower. Up top, that just looks like a toolbox. And here is the chassis setup. This probably looks really familiar. It's pretty much the same as the MK07 from what I could tell. It looks like they just stretched out the chassis, the rear drive shaft setup for the longer wheelbase of a Gladiator, basically. So let's just go over this really quick. I was really detailed in my MK07 review, but let's just hit it up really quick here. So machine aluminum chassis rails, composite braces to just shore everything up. Love it that they have the inner fender guards and the floor pans. That's where your electronics are housed. Battery's got to drop easily right into the center here, and it runs up to a 4S battery in this thing. The suspension, you can see we've got these large bore anodized green shocks. I kind of wish those those were just maybe anodized gray. Being that the truck itself looks so realistic, I think this just kind of takes away from it a little bit. I'm okay with, let's say, the motor plate being green anodized, but those shocks where you can see it, I don't know about that. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. But anyway, you know, the shocks feel really good. You got adjustable preload collars on it, massive suspension links for the 4-link setup in the rear, and then they've got a 3-link with a pan-hard bar in the front, even metal links for the steering. So this thing is all decked out. I mean, it's ready to go. The wheel and tire combination looks pretty good. I think this tire is modeled after a BF Goodrich KO2. Pretty soft rubber and then a firm insert on the inside. It has to be to deal with all the weight here. Check out the wheel. This is actually an aluminum face, kind of like a 1552 wheel, I think. I like the jeweled edge on it, and then the inside of the rim is a composite ring. Into the driveline, they've got a lot going on. So this is a 2-speed setup, and it's actually shiftable as well to where, you know, you could run it in front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. And, you know, it's a 4x4, just leave it in 4-wheel drive, I think, most of the time. But anyway, the option is there. Metal gears on the inside, ball bearings, of course. They've got steel slider drive shafts out to the front and rear axles. We've seen these axles on the JK07. So they are a portal setup, composite housing for the axles themselves. And then they have the differentials in there that can be locked out. So you can open them up if you want to for turning, or if you're out crawling, you could lock them up with the flip of the switch on the radio system. And the axles, they just look really good. These didn't come with the weights on the outside, like the early versions of the JK07 that creators got early on that caused a little bit of confusion. But this is the standard setup that you're going to get. Those housings look pretty good for the portals and metal gears. Look at the size of those universals. Everything looks really good in that department. Now we're down to the electronics. So they got a 45 kg servo up front. That's awesome. So now we got some more steering power. That was a complaint I had on the JK07. Even a metal servo horn. Then you've got a brushless system in this one. It is available brushed as well. I think people are just going to go for the brushless model. 2200 kV motor attached to that metal motor plate I showed you before, and then a programmable speed controller up to 4S. But then you have all your shifting servos, and that leaves us to the radio system, guys. So it's got a decent radio to it, although they don't have a foam grip on the wheel. I don't like when they do that, but anyway, a lot of switches on this one to control all the different functions, you know, wipers and lights. Then they have more accessories that you could possibly put onto the truck. There's the ladder, so yeah, obviously have to access that rooftop tent, right? They give you a picnic table, so if you want to set up your own little, you know, overlanding adventure, you could do that. And I think these are some chairs in here that you have to assemble. An extra aluminum servo arm, not sure why they gave you that. They gave you some trim tape, so if you want to go and trim up the doors, make it look a little bit more realistic, they have that. Decals, some marker pens, some tools. But yeah, this thing is just off the charts, guys. Look at this setup. This is cool. I mean, if you're a Gladiator fan, an overlanding fan, I mean, this is right up your alley. Let's head outside now and drive it. Back at one of my favorite spots, RC drivers, I thought it'd be perfect for the JK07. I know a bunch of you like the scenery here, and the rock terrain is definitely challenging for whatever I bring here. And I think this is gonna do well. I've been driving it a little bit so far, and guys, this thing just looks cool on the rocks. All right, so it has a 2-speed transmission in it, and I have it in high gear right now. I just had to show you this. It's on a little bit of an incline, but watch. It pulls the front wheels right up and off the ground. Tons of power in this thing. With that brushless system, it's only on a 3S pack. You can run up to a 4S with the brushless, and here it is with low gear. A little bit more tame, not a wide ratio between it, but I think it's okay. You can obviously power it up with different battery packs. On 3S, I mean, I think it's just fine. And this thing could crawl too. We've got a long wheelbase to deal with, so you definitely have to choose your lines right. But the one thing that's kind of bothering me is there's definitely a clicking from the transmission. You guys hear that? It actually almost sounds like an idling diesel Gladiator. One thing I did notice, it does have awesome descent control. Look at that. That is perfect, nice and smooth. Let's see how that crawl is now with an obstacle. And yeah, it's maintaining a nice smooth speed. Awesome. Okay, so here's something to kind of geek out over: the wipers. One push, you get a single swipe. Double push, you get intermittent, and I think there's high speed with 3 pushes. Yeah, that seems to be a little bit quicker. Now that I'm over here in the shade, we'll go through the lights. So that's this middle button down here. One press, the headlights come on. Marker lights. Another press, we go to high beams. Another press, the fogs come on. Another one, the light bar. And then you can have the light bar flicker. The rig steers well. It's got a bit of a wide turning radius though. We've got a long wheelbase to this rig. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have to watch those lines, plan things out ahead of time, or you're gonna be doing a lot of K-turns. That transmission though, that's got some noise to it. Hopefully it breaks in over time. So I want to show you speed in low gear. I mean, that's pretty quick. Again, on 3S. Now spin it around. I want to show you it in high gear. One push there, and watch this. Motoring now. So the servo's got some good steering power, but you can get it bound up. See, it's a bit hung up there. But for your average crawling around, trail driving, not a problem. It definitely looks awesome as an overland rig. I'm actually really jealous. Wish my real Gladiator looked like this. I think it looks fantastic. Let me know what you think about the look in the comment section below. All the accessories that they have on here. I think it's time that we set it up and just chill out by the water. So again, guys, you know I'm a Gladiator fan, but I think Rlaarlo really nailed it with this. I mean, it's not licensed, but we're pretty close here. They just loaded this thing up with some awesome scale accessories. The overland look, absolutely killer. And the equipment in here is just really good too. I mean, having a brushless system available right out of the box, I could handle up to 4S, a decent steering servo, and then all the servos to control all the different options, like the lockers, the 2-speed, the front wheel drive, rear wheel drive. I don't think you're gonna use it that much, but it's there. But man, this thing looks killer. And then, you know, metal wheels, the aluminum shocks, aluminum frame, this thing is just loaded. And I think it's priced pretty well too. The only thing I think, you know, I wish I would have liked to have seen is the ability to remove all the accessories from it. Like, I don't have all that stuff. I want this to look like my real Jeep, but if I pull that rack off the top, there's gonna be holes in the roof. And maybe they should have had the Freedom panels too. That would have been awesome if they were able, if you're able to remove those, see the interior, but I'm just nitpicking now. I mean, this thing is just awesome to drive. You could spend all day on the trail with this truck. And if you're into it, I'll have links in the video description below.